95 GLO.
GLO rocks the Bears!
You got it. Here's the question. I gotta know. LA Mike. The nickname. Tell everybody who don't know how you got that nickname, LA Mike.
Yeah. It started in 20.
Well, it's the A and B to that question. The first part of it is I'm from Los Angeles, so that's where LA come in. From the player standpoint, now from the coaching standpoint, I got LA.
Well, I have an uncle.
Buddy Ryan. Buddy Ryan was calling me LA. Coach Dickey told him to stop calling me.
And I've got relatives down there,
I'm
so
calling
I
that
can take the day off and go down and see who I can find out. Right.
What your favorite memory with your team was?
Get away from my mic, you're reading.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, there you go. You guys know the year before that we lost in the NFC Championship game to the 49ers, and that, I think they made us 28-3.
23-0.
23-0 that year? Well, that was 88, yeah. Well, anyway, this is when I knew we were going to go to the Super Bowl and win it. It was in the middle of the year, and we went out to Candlestick Park. It was their house. Joe Montana and all the suspects were there. They weren't hurt. And they just wanted to beat us and won the Super Bowl the year before. And we handed them their ass 26-10. That's when I knew we were going to win the Super Bowl. And that's what but really, the fondest memory I have as a Bear. Some guys say the camaraderie in the locker room. None of these guys like me anyway. What I'll always remember and what I'll always miss, there's nothing like it in this world, is walking out that tunnel and when they announce your name, you guys roar. Oh my God. I'm ready to do whatever I can to keep that roar in my life as long as I can. You know, here's some scripture for you. After you hear that roar. It didn't matter anymore, life and death the same, only that the crowd would be there to greet him with howls of lust and fury. He started to understand his sense of worth. He mattered. Thank you.
That's right. All right, now, Butthead, how about you? What was your fondest memory together with your team, besides getting beat up by that guy next to you?
Well, I think I just had it just a moment ago when Steve was talking like that.
Good little kicker.
I don't know, my fondest memory probably goes back to coming back after the Super Bowl and seeing the effect it had on the city and seeing about 1 million people out there enjoying the win with us. That's what I really knew. It was something very special to the city of Chicago. Much bigger than the experience I had in college, which you think can't get any bigger. And all of a sudden you come to a city like Chicago and bring them their first championship in many years. That certainly sticks in my mind, the welcome they gave us back.
All right. Thank you very much. Any other questions? First of all, once again, let's give a big round of applause for your 1985 Chicago Bears! The question is for everybody. Is there anybody on our panel, any of our distinguished guests, that would actually like to see the Packers win the Super Bowl this year? That's not my question! I swear, it was definitely you over there asking. Anyway, anybody want to see the Packers win? Mr. Moorhead?
No way. What's the thing they say, like the favorite team is the Bears, and the second favorite is whoever playing the Packers?
So you're going to be a Steelers fan for a day? Okay. How about you, Mike? You root for the Packers in the Super Bowl this next week?
I'm going with the Steelers also.
Woo! 2 for the Steelers. 3 for the Steelers. 3 for the Steelers. All right. 4 for the Steelers. How about you, Mr. Bortz?
Just for the old boys.
So we'll call that one for the Steelers. No, I don't know. Right? Yes, for the Steelers. Now, you answered this question earlier, Mongo, and there were people that work here to hear your response, but I love your response, so go ahead and tell everybody, are you going to be rooting for the Steelers?
I want you guys to be more foresighted than just next weekend. If the Green Bay Packers win the Super Bowl, realize next year we get to whip the defending Super Bowl champions' ass twice.
All right, hey, Butthead, I'm going to slide on in here to you and ask you that same question. The question is, the Super Bowl upcoming, are you going to be rooting for the Packers?
I didn't even know the Packers made the Super Bowl. And I refuse to even, acknowledge the existence of the Super Bowl.
You're now my favorite bear. Of all time. The question is, from the JFL coach, raise your hand, go ahead and stand up. He wants to know, he's a JFL coach, you did defense last year, offense this year, right? He wants to know what wins games, defense or offense?
Well, I think, there's certainly a continuity that has to go between both of them to win games. To win the games during the season, you got to have both. You got to have the third part. You got to have special teams. But I think my belief as a football fan growing up, you want to win championships, defense wins championships. I really just believe that's where it starts. And at the end of the day, you have to stop those opponents from getting in the end zone. You've got to get enough offense to get there, but the defense is the part that has to step up. And it has no influence, as Stephen Michael is sitting next to me, that my answer was defense. I just want y'all to know that.
He's not scared, not at all. All right, hey Mondo, which wins games, defense or offense? That's for the JFL coach Mike back here.
These days, what wins games is going past the salary cap, Because they ain't going to play unless they're getting paid now, huh, man? Well, listen, this is what I got to say about how that relates to the real world and what's wrong with the NFL. You notice I'm ignoring your question. You guys got some work to be done and you're going to get it contracted out, right? Do you pay that contractor up front before he's done one thing? Why don't you do that? That's what's wrong with the NFL.
So his answer is in. Okay, the question again from our JFL.
My answer is I choose to ignore your question.
Right, I was going to say that's never do.
Defense wins championships. It's old football and we had one of the greatest defenses ever in 1985 and many years in that period. So defense definitely wins championships, but we have people like you guys that say next year or here. They don't score.
How about you? There you go. That's right. Rory, how about you? Who wins games, offense or defense?
Punters.
I'm kind of like Big O.
Oh, God. Yeah, and he's closing it again down tonight.
I'm kind of like Big O. If the opponent doesn't score, they can't win. But we got to score some points on our end, though, too. So I'm going to be politically correct. It takes both of them, and it also takes a good kicking game, too.
For defense, what wins games?
It's all about field position. It takes a really good defense to control the field. One of the problems the Bears had, I believe, Sunday was they played a decent defensive game, but decent don't win championships. You have to play well, and anytime you give up 4 or 5 first downs every time the offense has the ball, and the opposing team is getting the best field position, and that's what took place. Green Bay was getting 4 or 5 first downs, and so I believe it's got to be defense.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate it. And you know, I was gonna say I probably can guess what you think wins games, defense or offense, but I'm not gonna answer for you. For the JFL coach back here, he wants to know who wins the games, defense or offense.
Offense wins the games. You win a lot of games playing offense, but they say I think you look for championships. You know, there are a lot of things that can happen on the offense, and the defense usually comes through. Good defense always trumps good offense in big games.
All right, good questions. Once again, let's give a big round of applause for our Bears. Let's go Bears!